Hey everybody, JMaco516 here, back with another video. Here not too long ago I picked up glass etching, and a few people have asked me how I do it. And I didn't really watch too many, like, as far as tutorials go. I just kind of jumped into it. It was around Valentine's Day, so I started out with vases and things like that. I've done a few different things. Hummingbirds, flowers, hearts, little cutesy bears, things like that. Sold a few. Haven't done any in a while, but decided to do one, which is Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. And I also have the lettering, which will be backwards because of the camera. But I wanted to just have something to do, so I decided to do these. Now I got both these images off the web, and they were edited and sized to fit the glass that I'm using. But first, that's the first thing you want to do, is select your image, size it right. You could print it out a couple times and line it up and see about the size of where it'll be on the glass or vase, or I've even done a couple shot glasses. But for this one, you can use any kind of tape. Fix this. Turn that off in there, and I'm gonna get this the writing where I want it. So I'm just gonna tape this up here, and we're gonna put this. Try and keep it as center as I can, and put that on there. They're two separate images. You can make it to where it's all one image to make it a little easier, but I decided to add the words after I printed out the first picture and didn't feel like re-editing things. But first, what you want to do is add tape to all four sides of this. And on larger images like this, that's why I got this kind of shaped like a stop sign. It's because it kind of makes it easier, like as far as taping, since it covers more space. You can do it however you want, though. I find it easier to do it this way. Now we got tape on all the sides. We're gonna go ahead and line it up where we want it in the glass, which can be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. So just kind of gotta play with it. Roll it up sometimes is easier. I have to fold this one up on the bottom. Go ahead and roll this in. Fold that up so we can get it in there. Kind of got to play with it. Sometimes I like to use like a permanent marker or a pencil to be able to press things up against the glass completely to where it's lined up, and you won't have to worry about it too much. And you don't necessarily have to worry about it being off center or anything. It's kind of just where you want it. Like I said, there's many ways you can do this. This is just how I find it easiest. That's on there pretty good. I mean, you can try to push it a little bit more further to get it more lined up. Like I said, a marker, a pencil, or even a ruler or something like that can help make it a little bit easier. And that's not too bad. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take a marker and trace everything, and then take everything out and go over it with the Dremel, like that. Or you can just, based off of what's here, you can take the Dremel and just go right up against it and trace it as if you would tracing it with a marker. I mean, I've done it both ways, so I mean, it's really not an issue for me. It's kind of just based on your preference. let me go over some of the tools, and then I'll end this video, and then we'll get into it on the second video. Like I said, first thing is select your image, and you can either use the internet and edit it in Microsoft Paint or Word, or even programs on your phone to size it up just the way you want it. Get it printed out, trimmed up as much as you can without having too much interference and too much excess, because it can affect the when you go to line it up and everything. You can use an X-Acto knife, which what I use, or not an X-Acto knife, but a box cutter. You can use pliers to help tighten this a little bit. You push down on this button and twist it, and it needs to be really tight, because when this gets to spinning and it goes up against the glass, it can loosen this up, and then it messes with the stability of the bit, and it can make things a lot more shaky and be more of a hassle when you actually go to do things. Next, of course, is the permanent marker, which you can use for tracing everything, or also making sure everything's lined up. You can also use something round, like I use sometimes a smaller water bottle works. Also, you're supposed to use goggles. I do sometimes, I don't sometimes. I mean, it's more recommended that you do, but I mean, it kind of messes up, messes with how you view things. So I mean, it kind of, I don't know, it throws it off for me, so I sometimes just don't use them at all. Water, I help to use to pour on the glass as you're doing it, so there's not so much friction and it doesn't mess things up. And then a paper towel to wipe away the excess glass that comes off when you actually get to the dremeling. And then of course the Dremel, the special diamond burr bits is what they're called, and I have a whole container of them. I mean, there's all sorts of sizes of them. I use the ones that are the circle or the ball. I mean, I find those to be the easiest. Here is another one of those. I don't know how well you can pick that up. There's many different sizes of these. These came with this Dremel that I got, and it's not actually Dremel brand. It's a cheaper brand. I picked this one up on eBay for about $15, and that includes shipping. As you can see here, I've got all my bits and everything lined up and organized. These are some of the heads that you use to tighten the bit in there. Those come in different sizes. It's best to have spares of those. I said the tape, you know, either use painter's tape, regular like packing tape, or even just standard a roll of tape works just fine as well. So those are the tools. This is part one of how to etch glass, you know, whatever design you want. You can do letters, names, pictures, anything of that sort. This is part one. I am JMaco516. Stay tuned for part two, and you know, there will probably be several parts, but stay tuned, and hopefully you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and hopefully you guys pick these up and try to do it yourself. Anyway, I am JMaco516, and I am signing out.